It's debatable here on MLBBro.com.
In lieu of the MVP, most valuable player, we're going to give the MVB awards from our crack staff here at Debatable. Who's your most valuable MLB bro for 2023?
So I'm going to go with a little bit of a controversial pick, right? I'm going to go with Cedric Mullins. I think he hasn't had
That's not controversial.
He hasn't had the statistical season. I don't think anybody would look at his numbers and be like, oh, wow, MVP or MVP. But I think his impact on that team, so many big hits, so many clutch hits, game-saving catches. You could argue outside of Atlanta, Baltimore is the best team in all of Major League Baseball. And he has been the catalyst for that team. He has given that team so many clutch at-bats, so many clutch hits, so many clutch defensive plays, what he does on a base pass, what he does defensively. I just think he has been the most important player for one of the best, if not, you can make the argument, the best team in the sport.
Now, as a, bleeding heart black and orange apologist, I can't have too much of argument with that thought process. However, my friend, I'm going to have to go to one of the OGs in the game. And to me, it's going to be Mookie Betts once again. And you want to talk and to kind of echo what you talk about, his presence for the Dodgers is what Mullins' presence is for the Orioles in the clubhouse, on the field. The reason I'm going to go with Mookie, however, is the versatility of positions and the flexibility that he gave to the Dodgers lineup all season. You start him in the infield, you play him in the outfield, hit him in top, bottom of the lineup. Even despite missing games with a few injuries, his splits are for real. He had 309. He got, 39 home runs and 106 RBIs as we record. Back in the day, those were MVP numbers. And he's taken full advantage of, and a lot of the athletic players, even Mullins has taken advantage of the opportunities to steal more station to station baseball that enhances their game. Mullins had a lot more dramatic game-winning hits, but Mookie was just workmanlike with his. So to me, I got to give the MVP to Mookie Betts.
Mookie is one of the top 3 players in all of sport, and he ain't 3. So you can't argue with a guy, and he's just so consistent year in and year out. You just the consistency. You could argue he's getting better. He's just getting better. He just does everything. Hell of a player.
So too is Mullins, man. I will say,
Mullins. You could make the case that Mullins is like the bargain Mookie, right? Like if Mookie,
he really is, man.
Yeah, he really is. He's not as good. He's not as flashy, but he's just consistent, man. And what I love about Mullins, man, he's been there. He's been there since the dark ages, man. When Baltimore was terrible, and he's been consistent. He's been a steady hand. Again, he's not having his most productive offensive season. A little bit of a down season offensively, numbers wise. But you can't mitigate the impact that he's had on that team, especially with so many young players. I know I'm preaching to the choir because I know I don't tell you. You cover them, but with so many young players, with a team that's still fairly new at this, that's the big thing too. It's not like Baltimore's won 90 plus games the last 5 years. This has really been their first time really as a big time team in a long while, and he's the veteran. He's the guy on that team. He kind of took over that mantle for Trey Mancini, and he's kind of become the leader and the voice of that team. So I just respect what he's done, man. Just quietly, doesn't get a lot of attention, just kind of goes out there and does this thing.
But the consistent level of greatness by Mookie Betts and just the positional versatility. Mullins could probably do it in the outfield. I wouldn't put him around second base and have him try to turn a double play. We love him, Sid, but we know some players are best left in the outfield.
Right.
And I think he's Mookie goes inside or out.
Goes anywhere.
Keeps his power, plays darn near Gold Glove wherever you put him. So a slight.
Listen, so you can't go wrong with either pick. I'm gonna go with Cedric Mullins just because of the story of the Orioles. Coming from a team that just missed out last year. You said it lost 110 a couple years ago to now be a team about to win 100 games with crazy. A lot of young players, and he's the one consistent. He's the one kind of veteran piece, or one of the veteran pieces there. Yeah, I think you got to give it to Mullins.
Too bad I can't change my vote. You made a very compelling argument But
I mean, listen, we making compelling arguments for each other. I mean, I thought we were supposed to debate here. I thought we were supposed to debate.
With all my districts reporting, it came up Mookie as the MVP.
Got
for the man, it's your boy, the OG. That's debatable for this week. We out.
For more right now, go to MLBBro.com.